ready to work.
Hello guys and welcome. I'm back for another kit review regarding the Warcraft universe. It will be the Peasant from the Alliance. Once again, the idea is to adapt a character that we see in a video game into a real character in real life, meaning that there is a lot of things that I have to left on the side because, as I said, regarding video games, physics and other things, well, you have to make an adaptation from one medium to another. That's the rule. And I took the inspiration from the Warcraft license in general, from the first to the last Reforged version we got, to pick some good things here and there and to bring it to the result I'd like to share with you. The idea behind the adaptation from the video game to the real life is simply for me to have something precise regarding what I will bring to the screen when I will be producing more fun films, more short movie, because, well, that's the aim. I'm producing this kind of costume for the short movie I produce. So we have already one Lordaeron, which is on the YouTube channel. You can check it right now. And there is a second one, which is actually in post-production at the moment. So all the editing regarding the image and the sound. For the different Peasant, of course, the costume won't be the same for everyone, because I don't want the idea that every single Peasant is a clone of another, like you see in the game, but that's just game's mechanic.
All right.
It just works that way. And once again, this is not exactly what I'd like to show you. I'd like to have the spirit, the whole idea, but once again, adapt this into real life. For many parts there will be variation, not like one kind of shoe, not like one kind of tunic or tool. No, there will be difference all the time, but a coherent base. So for the costume and the shoe, well, could be like that, like this kind of boot there, which are not the more developed kind of and elegant you could create. This kind of boots, you will see them, and you will see the kind of shoe like that. This kind of shoe with sometimes a wrapping around the leg, like we saw in the Reforged version. This is what I see when I see the model. There will be some variation like this with different kind of shoe. Some of them will be closed, some other will be more open, depending once again of the different workers, of the different villager, and also the inspiration. Some came from Warcraft Reforged, some came from Warcraft 3, the World of Warcraft, or even the Warcraft 2 and 1. All this mixed together give the inspiration. For the rest, it will be the same. You see, I have there a trouser made out of wool. I like the check pattern there because it gives depth to the character, to have sometimes some patterns like this, and well, I like the idea to have stuff like this for the Peasant, something that bring a bit of depth and something a bit colorful again in the whole idea, instead to have just a blank color. It's important also to give some little details like that. And the trouser could be a different color. You will see in the Lordaeron short movie that there is some Peasant with a blue trouser. You will see other variation of that kind of Peasant in the upcoming Lordaeron episode 2. See there is a tunic which is blue linen, and this is some details there also on the sleeve. And this is how I bring the blue in the costume, because you see in the game, for example in Warcraft 3 or 2, there is some parts of the character that will vary in color depending on the team.
Righto.
So, well, it's simple. I have some places on the costume in which I could have something that is blue in order to bring this idea, you see. In that manner, you will see the blue color in some of the costumes, reminding you of the Alliance. Of course, not all of them. And over that tunic, you see there is another tunic. There, a brown tunic, which like this could have some piece sew back, like you have here on my knee, which is completely, well, not completely, but have a lot of damages. All this bring also some depth to the characters, and you have not like a costume which is just blank and pristine. So you could have holes like this. Well, in fact, this kind of tunic there have been made out of some leftover I had, some wool blankets, and well, hey, it did the job. And over here we have a hood. That hood, once again, is to remember some of the designs you have in the Warcraft universe, from the Warcraft 3 or games before.
Yes, my lord.
And with that hood, you will look like a bit like what we see in the early development of the Alliance designs.
What?
This kind of wool is what we call in French something like boiled wool, and this wool could be cut raw at the edge there without any stitching needed. So it was very simple to assemble, and I did just that. Well, of course, if you want more finish, yes, you can do a lot of things, but that was the idea, to make things a bit easier in the design. Regarding the accessories, there is a lot of things that could be picked. For example, this bag there. It's quite light, it's a flexible leather, could be used for many things. The good thing there is the two rings helping me to just change the length of the belt. If you want to just reuse, just pull, and it's easy. The belt with a big buckle made out of brass. The belt also is quite large. There is some other belt that could be a bit thinner, but I don't want something that would be too thin. I like the belt also to look like what you see in the game. On the side there you have different bags, whether to be used to store stuff that you will need, once again, depending on just what you need to do. On this side you have some of my tools. For example, there ropes, one long rope which is held there by the strap here with the buckle and the loop that came around the belt, so I can remove easily the ropes, and if needed also bring them back here, and it holds there quite right. This kind of detail helps the character to have something really coherent, because as a worker you need also to carry some of your tool and to be able to do your show, do your work here and there. And when you have tools and all the accessories that help you to do so, well, it's something that shows simply, because you are not just bothered about everything around you and it's a pain, and no one will ever do that. If it's a job to do so, you don't want to just embarrass yourself with all the things around you that are just cumbersome and just working against you. So you have to make all these little things that could come in handy, like just what I have here for the hammer there. Way to hold that and to remove it in case I need it, and to put it back there. Very easily. And that could work with this kind of hammer there, which is quite light as it's made out of wood. So I have another one there, made out of iron this time, and this goes the same way. If I want to just carry it around, see, won't fail. And it goes the same way. If you want to use the hammer, you just remove the nuts and you will have access to the tool. You can remove it and bring it back. It's once again all the little things like that that will help the guys during the shootings, because if you have a costume and accessories which are not good, which are not really helping you do what you would need to do as the character, well, it's not easy. And this is why I also try to test most of the gear, most of the costume and accessories before I just land it for shooting. That way I know how it could work and how it could work against you. So I knew some mistakes, and this is why now I try to test as much as possible. And regarding the tools, well, there is many possibilities. Well, you have armor, another kind of armor there. Well, this kind of fork there. Another kind of fork. Afraid to beat the grain. We all know about the scourge of Lordaeron, and that they produce a lot of cereals. So yes, you have to think about this kind of tool that would be used at the time to well, produce that grain. This kind of flail is based on some historical representation that I saw, and also some artifact that I saw in museum, even if the artifact was like a 2 or 3 century or many other things, like a basket there, or if you need to carry other things. But there's a cart here. This kind of cart would be a piece of a set or an accessories during some of the shootings. We'll see. That's something that could be used. This kind of basket could be used as a backpack. You see, with the strap there, and you can use it to carry other things. Yeah, because you never know. It's very important in case you have to dig some gold and to carry it back to the base. Bags like this could be used as well, from little ones to much bigger examples. You already saw that tool for the militia. This is carried again with a kind of strap in order to hold it on your belt and to remove it from it quite easily, and to bring it back there in order to carry it around with the other tools that you have. Some cutting tools like this in order to cut the branches on a tree, for example. You will need perhaps something to dig holes and to perhaps work in a farm, on a field. So there is this kind of tool. If you want, there is some shovel like this to, well, once again, dig a hole and do all the chores like this, all the work you have to do. You can use also that in order to carry water. Lantern there that have been added to the design. With the axe and the lantern there, you see once more the references to the Warcraft game and the use of the tools. It's interesting to see that they brought a lantern on the design, because you know that you have to go into a mine, into a gold mine, so you perhaps need lanterns, yes. With all the work you have to do, perhaps you will have also some gloves on the Peasant sometimes. Well, this is why I brought those there. Could be gloves like this. I think you do imagine that with this kind of character, the tools and accessories are just like endless. There is tons of possibilities. You can have pike axe, you can have axe, armor, ropes, lanterns, many things. And depending on what you want to let your character do in the set, in the action, there is many possibilities. Many possibilities. That was my kit review for the Warcraft Peasant. Don't hesitate to give some feedbacks in the comment below. If you want, also share the video. If you haven't yet, subscribe. There is more in the future coming regarding the Warcraft universe. Not only there will be some other kit review, like you see there for the Peasant, there will be some news for the Horde, like a troll, an orc. There will be some alliance unit, like footmen, different variation also of the infantry, and also a paladin and other things I'll see in the future. That kind of video will help me to also share with you the development regarding the character that you will see in the production I create. If you want to keep in touch regarding all the process and the updates for the fan films and the different characters you will see in them, it's simple, just subscribe and you will have all the notifications. Perhaps click the bell button as well. It's not the first kit review I do, and there is already the militia that have been made, and there is some other from other universe, like the Warhammer universe or the Middle Earth. And if you want to check this out, it's simple, go to the channel. Thank you once again, guys, and have a great day. See you.
We found a witch. May we burn her?